Hello everybody, this is YFariStudios at YFariStudios-RC again. Alright. Today I'm going to be changing a very tricky part of this car, and I'm going to be showing you how to do it. It's part 7029X on the Traxxas piece. This car is from Traxxas, you know of course. So I have the piece right here, just came in the mail, and I'll be opening it up. Here it is. It's the front bulkhead, so left and right halves. So there's two halves. So I'll be showing you today how to change these, and I hope you enjoy, and I hope it gives you some information. The first thing you should do, just leave this alone. You don't need to open this up right now. Yeah, and I'll just open this, cover off. So here we are. Car's open. Today you should take the batteries out. Either side. Okay. My front bulkhead is broken, so that's why I'm changing it. So, changing the bulkhead, the front bulkhead, is a very tricky business. I've done it twice, and it's really a tricky business. The first thing I usually do is I would take off the springs, the shocks. Take off the shocks first. These are the two shocks. You open them up from these two screws here, and these two screws here. This one here, and this one here. I'll get on with that. And remember, Traxxas always provides you with these Allen wrenches. They're very useful. But I noticed that the edges, they wear out very easily. I use this most of the time, but sometimes I have a spare Allen wrench that's more durable. It's very useful to have a spare Allen wrench. Now this piece should slip out after you finish unscrewing the screws on the back, and these two should be loose-goosey. Now I'll do the other two screws. I'll just put these in a Ziploc bag, so I don't lose them. Screw number one done. Here's the shock, spring, whatever you want to call it really. And now I'll move on to the next one. That's the last one. Those shocks. I always, when I take them out, I like to make sure they're the same length because you could adjust them. Next step, we are going to take off the bumper. The bumper screws, I think I've showed you before if you watched my recent videos, but for those who haven't, there's this one right here, and then there's this one here, and this one here. That's how you remove the bumper. So I'll get on with that. One of three done. Two or three done. And there, two or three done. Now the bumper slips off this way like that. There you go. Shouldn't give you any trouble. Now, to finish removing the front assembly, which is, by the way, what we are removing, we will need to remove those two screws. 1, 2. This screw, actually. Badly stripped, and it'll take a long time. This one's good. probably wondering why I'm using a wrench, or pincers really. Wrench is the one without these, I guess. Well, you see what I've done to this screw and the other screw that I was showing you. I've stripped them badly. And now I'm only being able to screw them out a little bit with this, and then I have to do the rest with a wrench. So you don't need to use a wrench, or I guess you don't need to use one. The benefit of buying the Bulkhead is it comes with these. So I'm going to be storing these. I'm not going to be using them. I'm going to be replacing them as well. Pretty good. Anyways, now I'm going to go on to the really hard one, the one that's terribly scratched. For the one that's terribly scratched, I'm going to use one of my other Allen wrenches to do the trick. I hope. Oh, this is bad. Ah, it's so destroyed. I'm gonna get it off. No clue. Pry it open? Oh, really? I could pry it. I forgot to mention, before you open those two screws, you should flip the car over, and you should unscrew this this one here to take the steering off. There, I got it now. I had to pry it a little. Thought I could get a good grip with the wrench. There, finally I took it off. This screw here is garbage. Drove me nuts. Screw nuts. Get it? Now, the front assembly should slip off like this. Ta-da! Now, I could put this aside, the rear body, and this screw I'm also gonna throw. I'm not gonna throw this away. I could keep it for safekeeping. And now, the reason I'm changing my bulkhead. This is the right side of the bulkhead. This is the left side. As you can see, the connections for the steering platform are broken, so I'm going to be replacing them with this here. Let's get this party started and fix this car. Now, the first step is to take off the skid plates, the front skid plate. So I'll start by unscrewing these. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's number 1. And on to number 2. Two of 3. 3 of 3. And 4 of 3. I'm going to need to get a new skid plate because these two are worn out. These two holes here. There, 4 of 4. Now 1. This one's the one that it's attached to the steering assembly, which is this here. There. I'm done with the skid plate. Pack it up. Now this skid plate's off, and you could see here, as you can see here, the steering assembly could just lift over the latch there, and this piece comes out. You should put this on the side for now, and we'll just leave this dangling like right here. Next step, we'll take off these two screws. That's number 1. That's number 2. And they'll just lift off like that. and we'll leave them there. This is where the skid plate was. And this was where it was lying on top of the car. This is the front, where the front of the car is actually. And we will be taking out 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. You could use a wrench if you need. And don't lose these. These are not pleasant to lose. There we go. Leave this screw in. Don't unscrew this yet. Now, as you can see, this here came off and this here came off. That's fine. Now we're going to flip the assembly over again. And we'll take off these two poles here. 1 and 2. And we're done this part. You just stretch it off like that. And ta-da. Yeah, it's very stiff. There we go. And you're left with this part here. Look, doesn't look anything like a car. And as for these, you put them aside. And we are left with these. Now we're coming to the really cool parts. I'll be opening, unscrewing these two screws. This one here, it's inserted already. And this one. Stuck. And it should slip off like that. Very simple. Very simple. And now I'm doing number 2. Stuck again. Just grab it with this. And oh, there we go. And again, it slips out. And I'll put that over there. Now, I'll open the screw here. You can see this screw, it's very long. It attaches these two parts together from this side. There we go. And now just the screw here in the middle. There we go. And blue part comes right off. Very easy. And now, abracadabra, and they come apart. And now we're just going to be taking these, and you see these two halves here? These were the front bulkheads. We will not be using these. We will be throwing these away. This is what we are replacing, after all. Goodbye. This is the broken bulkhead. Actually, I think I'm just going to take a picture from memory. So I took my picture. Now I'll just throw these away. So now what remain from that assembly are these two pieces here. We'll be using that right now. So now I'll open this up. There we go. There's our brand new bulkhead. It's very good to check if there's any defects or anything, so you could return it. Just, you know, hold it in place like this, how it's gonna actually look like when it's in the car. Looks fine. Okay, everything's fine. Now, it's supposed to be very tight anyways. Now, let's get started. We'll be putting the old stuff in. So, this is how you do it. Hold the bulkhead up like this, and with the skid plate section on top, and take the right one, put this side on the right into here. And squeeze it in. You have to remember this step. This is important. You can't ignore this. Now, time to put this in. This piece just goes in like this. Fits perfectly together. Oh, and by the way, if this piece and this pieces are full of grime, you should wash it. Wash it and wipe it with a towel. Take all the tar off it. I did that recently, so I'm not going to show you. And now it's time to put this piece on. But before you do that, place this steering platform in here. Ah, that's a nice feeling. Nice and sturdy. Now I'll place this back on. Squeeze it gently. You don't want to ruin it. It's not a really... I don't really find it the strongest piece, really. There we go. It's all attached. And we'll be screwing this back in. The long screw, we'll be screwing it back in here. Make sure you screw it all the way. Good. So now we'll just squeeze the top end here, the top where the escape plate was. We'll just squeeze it a little, and we will insert this piece here. Doesn't really matter which way you put it, just as long as it fits. And there you go. That should just go fit snugly like this. Now we'll just screw this this part back on. Do it nice and tight, and that should do the trick. This screw, you should do it as tightly as possible. There we go. Now for the next step, we'll be placing these back in. Putting these two back on. There. We're done. Now we will be putting these back on. Here. Get your poles. So I'm going to be putting these back in. Oh, it's an indicator. There. There we go, that's in. And now we'll do the other side. There's these two notches here. They should go where these two notches are on this one. So that would fit nice and smoothly in. There we go. It should fit nice and smoothly. You shouldn't have to rock it around at all. And now we'll put this part in. There. I put in the steering assembly now. I slipped it through that pole. And now for these. They fit like this. And we'll put these back in. These poles. There we go. And there we go. And finally, that, like that. And last one. Perfect. Now you can bring your E-Revo body and rear assembly. Now it's time to finally reattach this to it. So I'll flip the car over. To reattach the front assembly, it's a really tricky business, really. I'm going to unscrew this screw here, this screw here, and this screw here, and this screw here. Okay? 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to be taking them off. Get moving. One, 2, 3, 4. I'm not very good actually at front. So now we could open up this here, and what we will do is, and what we will do is now, we will unscrew this here. We'll unscrew this and we'll pull it out. Make sure you don't overbend it. If you break this, that'll be a nasty price. And yeah, that screw comes out, pull it out. And now you're wondering what I'm going to be doing with this. I'll be putting this part here into here. And remember, look for the 2 notches so you could put it in nice and smoothly. There we go. And you see now it's it'll be much easier to put it back into the car. So now we're attaching the front assembly. We will go like this. Line it up sort of. As you can see, there are the 2 parts that I'm connecting. And they will just connect like this, see? And just push it in, and there it's attached. You see there? Now we will screw it back in with this screw here. Okay. Now we could put these screws back in to where we just took them out to lift this part. Remember, it's not good to over tighten screws. It could cause damaged plastic parts, screw holes, just name it. And be careful not to move the car too much. You don't want your beautifully attached front assembly to slip off again, and then you have to redo all of it again. We're on the final screw. I'm on the final screw. I'm finishing the final screw now. Not too tight. There we go. Flip the car over gently, very gently. You don't want to ruin it. I mean, I don't want to ruin it. You probably wouldn't want to ruin it either. Now, before it comes off, quickly screw in the 2 screws for the bulkhead. You'll be putting a screw in here and here. Very important, and really remember this, really. Do not over tighten these screws. I've already had a nasty situation with them. As you saw, they were all scraped up in the beginning. Do not over tighten these screws. Okie dokie. That's done. Now we're putting these back on with these screws here. Don't over tighten these. It's not just because of the plastic, because it will stop. It will prevent it from moving. Perfect. Now car over, and you could put this back on, the steering, this here. You can attach it again. Now, there we go. Now we are going to put these springs back on. So now I'm screwing the springs back in. Really, I think they're springs. You could call them shocks, I guess. Beautiful. Now for his other spring. Nothing feels better than a solid E-Revo. Don't like to over tighten the screws. Okay, now let's attach these parts. In case you are wondering, the plastic sides go inside here, and the metal ones, the ones with the metal inserts, go inside these ones, this side. There you go. Stand tall, E-Revo. E-Revo. Okay. And the final spring there. Nice. Now, we'll move to the bottom and we'll put back on the skid plates. And you know the screws for the skid plate probably. You know, just the 4-in-1. The screw is driving me crazy. Screw, I'm gonna go to this one. Hey screw, stop driving me nuts. And now, final step, the easiest. Just put on the bumper again. Last 2 screws and I'm done. Well, that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching YFariStudios-RC, and please enjoy our other series, YFariStudios Sports and YFariStudios-Art. YFariStudios-Art isn't really progressing that much, but it's still really fun to watch the one episode we have up right now. Hope you'd learned something today. You know, taking off the front assembly and everything. Maybe later I'll be adding some a few clips about just simple things, you know? I'll be cutting videos apart and just showing several parts. You'll see. And also, I'm changing the logo for YFariStudios. I'm also changing the website a little. If you have any questions, just email me at YFariSclickfar.com. And if you have any comments, go to our YouTube, Facebook, or website and comment. There is on our website. There is comment boxes under each video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.